Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm back making another video, and in today's video, I want to bring you guys the ultimate guide to Dig. I've been playing the game quite a bit and also doing quite a bit of research on the game, and I can't really find that many other YouTubers that actually know a lot of the secrets in this game. Even the wiki is pretty incomplete with a lot of information. There's a lot of secrets and a lot of things in this game that most players just do not know about, but I'm going to be bringing you a guide today from the beginning to the end game. What things you should do in order, what shovels you should get, what quests you should activate, where you should farm, what charms you should get, and pretty much like all the things that are the best in order and all the things that you should skip over. So yeah, even if you're an advanced player in this game, I would still watch through. There might be some things you missed. So first things first, the very first thing you're going to want to do is activate the tutorial guy, do his quest, do this guy's quest, and here you can do both of them at once, get a little bit of extra money and stuff, and pretty much just save up for the rock shovel. The rock shovel's the best shovel by far in here. And then once you get the rock shovel and you save up another $500 to get your first car, which is an ATV, then you're kind of ready to leave this area. Before you leave though, you can easily purchase a few charms over here in this little shop. And if you don't know what charms are, they are wearable items that give different boost. Strength is how much damage you do per hit. Your endurance is the health bar down underneath the digging. So you want to make sure you at least get like one decent charm before you leave. So after you get the rock shovel, one decent charm, you get your quest done, you get your first ATV, then you can leave this area. So let me get in my car and take you down here to the next area. So if you press M, this is your map. You're going to want to learn the map. If you don't at least know parts of the map, like near spawn, then you honestly just need to play the game more. You can't get your hand held through literally everything in a game like this. You got to learn a little bit because it's a pretty complicated game with a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, you just take the little road to the right, come right down here to the beach. It's pretty much the easiest path in the game. And then come all the way over here. And this is where you get a quest from John, and you can get some free prismatic magnets. And if you don't know what magnets are, these are temporary boost that get used every single time you dig up an item. So we'll get back to magnets later, but you don't really need a ton of them right now. But yeah, over here next to John, this is where you get a better version of the bell. And you can also get a pearls necklace in here. This gives luck and endurance. It can have up to 4 different pips at once. So these are some of the best charms you can get early game. And then right in here is the ruby shovel for 6,500. You pretty much want to farm here until you can get a decent charm or two in the ruby shovel. Try to finish John's quest while you're here. And then once you get a few things from down at the beach and you have the ruby shovel and some decent charms, let's say you're level 10 at this point and you can equip 2 charms at a time, then you're going to want to go over and you're going to want to start pretty much all the quests in the game. So first things first, starting all the quests in the game at once will make sure that you're doing multiple quests at a time and you're not missing out. You don't want to defeat some bosses and then you realize, oh, I had a whole bunch of quests to defeat bosses that I never activated. So first things first, if you go up to the lighthouse up here on this cliff, there's a person behind the lighthouse that gives you a quest. And once you complete the quest, you'll get this item, Sydney's Katana, which is pretty much just all control stats. And control is the size of the critical hit. So if you have a really hard time hitting the critical, this is a good early game item. But yeah, once you take the path up here, I'm not showing you the exact path because you have to learn the map in this game. It actually is important. You'll thank me later. It's not a hard path. Just follow the path from spawn, go up the hill and up on the cliff. And then the next place you're going to want to go is actually back here. And I will show you how to get to this area behind Fernhill Forest. Right here on this little brown spot, this is actually a shop that we need to go to. And I'll show you why. Okay, so once you get to this shop on the map that I marked way down here, this guy is like a repeatable bee swarm quest, like the polar bear from Bee Swarm. Every time I do the combat guild quest, I get +1 more boss damage. So if you do 100 of these quests, you're gonna permanently do +100 boss damage to bosses, on top of the strength from your shovel and your charms and everything else. But this is also where you get all these different horns. These horns are what spawn in the bosses, And we'll talk more about bosses later, because they're useful for a ton of different things. But yeah, talk to this guy right here. This is where you get a quest. This is also where the highest damage boss shovel in the game is. After you do a couple quests from him, you can buy it. And that shovel's pretty much only good for boss damage, just by the way. And then if you start getting a little bit more money and you want even better charms, you really need to find the traveling merchant frequently. Some of the best charms are in the traveling merchant, and the second best shovel in the whole game, actually. So we'll get into that in a little bit as well. But yeah, if you see this path right here that goes into a cave between Foxtown and Rooftop Woodlands, it quite literally is just a big cave. You're going to want to go in here also. Now, there's a few different things you can do once you get into this cave. Also, it says no signal. So once you enter the cave, it's a little bit hard to tell where you are. But yeah, I would just go all the way down here to the bottom. I would buy an elevator ticket for $1,000. Make sure you're in the elevator when the timer hits 0. If you want, you can sit here and dig for a second until the timer goes down. Okay, we're going down the elevator. So once you get down here, you can enter this area to leave the mines. You can buy magnet crates here if you need some, but it's still pretty early game at this point of the tutorial, so I wouldn't waste money on those just yet. Also, this is where you can buy an item detector, which will tell you what area on the ground has an abundance of certain items. So you can go around the map and find certain spots that have the items that you need. Also, the magnet shovels here for $10,000 as well. I would also not buy this until later though. You want to make sure you have a better shovel before you go and get item detectors and magnet shovels. If you're still on the ruby shovel, which you should be at this point in the tutorial, do not buy this stuff yet. We're down here for a different purpose right now, but while we're here, I just wanted to show where that stuff is. Okay, I'm gonna speed run a couple different locations down here in the cave. Actually, I don't want to get way too sidetracked. I'll show you the later game stuff in the later game part of the tutorial. So just follow the blue mushrooms. You pretty much just stay right for a little while and don't tip your car over. But yeah, just keep following the blue mushrooms down. Once you get over here, it takes a left. Just keep following the blue mushroom. Okay, if you keep following the blue mushrooms all the way down, you should eventually hit a wall. Okay, here's the wall. I finally hit it, so I'm gonna just glide down, and if you're wondering where I got this, I'll show you in a little bit. We're just not there yet. Okay, so this is a secret area called Azure Hollow. This is actually one of the best areas to get money and XP for early game. Like, absolutely one of the best. So once you're down here, this is actually where you do enchantments. So to do an enchantment, you have to get an enchantment tome, hold it in your hand, and go over to the enchantment table, and it'll enchant whichever shovel you have equipped. So make sure you have the one equipped that you obviously want to get an enchant on. So just get a quick enchant on your ruby shovel while you're down here if you have an enchant totem. If not, it's not a big deal. But yeah, once you're down here, you're going to want to talk to Old Blue Shroom, and you don't have to complete his quest right away. Like I said in the beginning, you want to activate a ton of quests at a time, and you can activate a quest and just come back to it later. It'll be progressing while you're doing other stuff. But if you're wondering what you get this Blue Shroom cap. It's a charm with multiple endurance stats, a boss damage stat, and a 25% chance for items to be blurple, which is a pretty good mutation that makes items worth a lot more money. Also, once you save up 25,000, I also would not get this until you have a better shovel, but once you save up 25,000, you can actually use the chisel to re-roll stuff and get better stats. And you get the chisel for 25,000 at the bank in the spawn. You get it from the guy on the right that you talk to appraise stuff in the bank, literally in Foxtown in the spawn. But yeah, I'm going to use an emergency flare. This is a really useful item that you're going to want to get later. Once again, it's $30,000, so I would not get it just yet at this point of the tutorial. So let me actually show you how to get the next higher tier shovel now. I was only showing all that other stuff because you want to activate these quests ahead of time. Okay, so we already activated some quests from over here. Now we're going to go over to Verdant Veil down here. I promise there's only a couple more quests we need to activate before I show you how to get the new best shovels. Okay, over here in Verdant Veil, you're going to just drive over to the left and there should be some silos over here, and a big barn right there. You're gonna talk to this guy, Billy Joe, complete his quest, and he actually gives a pretty good charm called the Banjo. I can re-roll this with the chisel unlimited times and get better stats. But it gives you endurance, and it constantly strums the banjo and gives you a little bit of extra luck while you're digging. And then while you're here, you're going to want to go inside the barn, go and talk to this guy and do his quest. And once that quest is complete, you'll get the farmer's hat item. Once again, every item in the game can be re-rolled on the stats once you get a chisel from the bank for 25k, but you're not going to get that until a little bit later. I know this seems like a lot, but trust me, I know a lot of people that have been playing the game for hours and they're like, where do you get this quest? Where do you do that? I don't know how to do anything. Trust me, go activate all these quests early on so you're not missing out, and you're also learning a bunch of the map at the same time. Just trust me on this. So next place you're going to want to go is Rooftop Woodlands. We're finally getting out of the main area of the map. And just by the way, there are slightly better places to farm for XP and money, but you need to be farming everywhere. Okay, so we're in the middle of Rooftop Woodlands, and this is actually where you can get a really good shovel. Now, this is an optional shovel to skip over, but it's really good for the price. So as you can see, I have one. It has 8 control, 6 strength, 5 haste, 18 luck, and it's a 10% chance to spawn a luck totem when digging, which will give you another +6 luck for like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. So it'll literally just spawn in those extra luck totems all the time. So you can or don't really have to get this. If you want to save up 75,000 for this shovel, which is a little bit better, then you can. But this one's also way better than the ruby shovel, so if you don't want to save up 75,000, get this when you can. Okay, while we're here in Rooftop Woodlands, we're going to take this corner, and right next to the mechanic and the merchant, just go right back here, and this is the graveyard. So this is actually where you get a really good charm, but this quest is pretty annoying for a lot of people. You have to dig up 3 legendary ghosts, and you can only dig up ghosts within this graveyard area. So talk to this guy, do the quest for 3 legendary ghosts. It takes a while. You can come back to it later. It's not a huge deal. You don't have to spend hours on it. But once you complete that quest, you get this, the ectoplasm sleeve. It gives you a ton of endurance and control and 20% chance to turn an item into plasma, which makes it worth a lot more money. So that's a really good item. While you're here, I would at least activate the quest, because you're going to have to come back to this area anyways and do a ton of the index to actually make it to World 2. You have to complete half of the World 1 index to get to the second world. So either way, you're gonna have to come back here and do a ton of digging. You just don't have to do it right this second. So if you want out of the graveyard, just follow the trees straight out and then take a left right here. And then we're gonna go farther up the mountain. You just take this trail over here to Cinder Approach and you wind all the way up the mountain. So let me just show you the trail. Pretty straightforward, just stay on the road. Okay, now we're at Cinder Approach. Up here on the mountain, this is another really good area for XP and money. But yeah, you can stop at Tom's Bakery here real quick, and let me show you the point of doing this. So if you do 5 of Tom Baker's quests, you're able to buy these little cupcakes that give temporary boost. You can buy them over and over and over and have hours of temporary boost with them. And you can also buy the shortcake shovel for 45,000. Once you do 5 quests from the baker, it has 7 control, 4 haste, 18 luck, 9 strength, and 30 boss damage. So it's really not a bad shovel whatsoever. Yeah, once you do 15 quests from him, you can get the cinnamon roll item, which is just a slightly better temporary boost that you can buy unlimited times. So just thought we would stop by and mention all that stuff while we're here. You want to activate his quest. Like always, you want to make sure you have every quest activated that you pass by, and then just pretty much keep going up the mountain. It's a really straightforward path that's hard to mess up. You just keep following the curve all the way up the mountain. Also, halfway up this cliff, you can get a lifting belt for 9,000. It's really not the best. Just thought I would mention it. So yeah, let me get back in the car. Traveling Merchant just traveled to Foxtown, so we're actually going to go back there in a second, see if there's anything really good in the Merchant. I've got a ton of money saved up, and I still have not seen the prismatic shovel in the traveling merchant. And if you don't know what that is, it cost $250,000. It's the second best shovel in the game right now. But let me take you up here to get, I wouldn't say the third best shovel, but like a top 5 shovel. This frigid shovel that costs $75,000, you definitely want to get this after the ruby shovel or the spore shovel. Okay, so once you get all the way up into this town, you pretty much just follow the windy road. This is where you can buy the glider. It costs only $3,000 and you keep it forever. It's actually really useful whenever you hop out of a car and you're in an area that you can't really drive. It's a lot faster to travel, so just get that eventually. But yeah, once you're in this town, you just go straight, take a small right, and then this huge ice cave looking thing, you're gonna want to go in here. And then once you're in here, you're gonna go to this little cave really close to the left as soon as you get in here. And this is one of the reasons the glider is useful. Can't really bring a car in here. But yeah, if you go all the way to the back of this cave, this is where you buy the frigid shovel. It costs $75,000. It's one of the best shovels in the game, other than the end game shovels. So we're gonna get to that here in a second. Also, if you're still wondering where the emergency flare is, let me get out of here real quick and I'll show you, but just so you know, it costs $30,000. It's a little bit expensive. But yeah, you can literally just teleport back to spawn no matter where you are, even if you're in the deepest cave, even if you're on the second world. It's just a really useful item. So yeah, head out of the cave, go to the left. Okay, so as you can see, I'm up at the very top of the map, pretty much. I headed out of the cave and just went over here. And this is the little helicopter, like, crash site. This is where you buy the emergency flare. It's a permanent item. So yeah, once you have the money for that, just buy it. It's really useful. And then one more thing, if you want to, here's the little town where we first came up the mountain. If you want to take a left instead of going to the cave, if you take a left and you go all the way up here to the pizza place, you can get a pretty good shovel there from doing 30 pizza quests, but it's just really not worth it. The shovel's like barely even as good as the shortcake shovel or the frigid shovel or the spore shovel. It's not worth doing 30 pizza quests running across the whole map for hours. So yeah, I'm actually going to just hit the emergency flare, go back home. If you don't know the way back, then look at the map and figure out the way back. Trust me, you'll thank me later. The game is so much more confusing when you don't actually put a little bit of time into it and learn the map. You have to just drive around yourself to these places. I showed you where it is on the map, so like find your way there. Trust me, you're gonna want to know the map. If I just show you where it is on the map and you figure out the path yourself, you're gonna thank me later, even if you're a little bit annoyed right now. Okay, so now that you're at the point you have a frigid shovel, this is when I actually would get some magnets, and obviously get the magnet shovel from down in the cave and the item detector, metal detector thing while you're down there. Also, you can get the item detector here in the spawn in this little shop if you want. And like I said, the charm chisel to get rerolls on your stats, you buy that in here in the bank, as you can see. But yeah, you only want to appraise like really good items. If you dig up a secret or a divine, you only want to appraise really good stuff that you can get some extra mutations on, and it'll actually be worth more because it costs $300 to appraise something. So you don't want to appraise a $80 item into like a $300 item. Then you're not even really making any money. In fact, you're just losing $80. But once you're at this point in the game, you're going to want to just do as much of the index as you can from everywhere. So it looks like you need 144 items to have half of everything, but everything includes stuff in the second worlds. So I actually only had 110 items discovered and everything, and I could already go to the second world. So I don't know what the exact cutoff is, but you have to have around half of the first world index done to go to the second world. So once you have that done, once you've leveled up quite a bit, got some money, got some good charms, farmed for hours in all the different areas, got a bunch of stuff unlocked, then you're gonna go over here to the ferry. So over at the ferry, this is where you get to the second world. You talk to the ferry conductor and make sure you buy a ticket every time. You can only have one ticket at a time, and you gotta buy a ticket every time. It costs $3,000 to go over to the second world, so don't go there until you're ready to actually go for a purpose. And we are going for a purpose, so let me buy my ticket. Okay, so once we're in the second world, I'm going to show you pretty much the end game quest and how to do them. So this is one of the end game quest, and I'm still not done with it. This is to get the magma boots. And the reason you need the magma boots is because it's one of the best items in the game, and you also need this to defeat the final boss, and you also need to defeat the final boss to get the very best shovel. So let me just explain where the very best shovel comes from. It has to drop from a meteor shower on a meteor impact, and you can buy it for like 600k, but only if you've gotten the magma boots and completed the final boss. And then the prismatic shovel, the second best shovel in the game, you just get that from the traveling merchant, and like I said, it cost 250,000. It's quite a bit less expensive than the star shovel that you get from the meteor shower, the best one in the game that costs 600k. But yeah, let's get in the Jeep with this guy, and this is the second world. I haven't even explored all the way to the back volcano yet, because I just really haven't had to yet. Yeah, this is a hard quest to do. I already have most of it done. I just need to reach level 50 and then purchase the Solstice shovel. So now let me show you how to get that, because this, I would say, is the third best shovel in the game. It costs 190,000 and it does the most damage in the game. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep taking the path, going up the mountain. And then while you're here, let me just pull up the map. While you're here in this little dead end area, you can get a quest from her. And I actually don't know what you get from that quest. I only know some stuff. Like I said, I haven't been able to find anybody that knows everything in this game. So I guess a ton of people just completely skip over that quest. I've never even heard of it until I just now passed it by. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm trying to get you guys as much accurate information as I can. Okay, so once you're in the jungle, you just kind of follow the path all the way to the back. And this is where Mount Charcoal is. And yeah, I'm just taking damage like every second in there. Pretty sure you need the magma boots to do anything in there. But yeah, here's the tribe guy right at the entrance of the volcano. I'm pretty sure that's who I talked to activate this quest. Oh wait, no. My bad. I actually talked to the tribe leader right here in front of this board. And if you don't know where I am, I'm in the jungle, and you just follow the path over here to the left and get to this little town. Yeah, my bad. This is also where you can get some pretty good items. You can get mangoes that give you +2 haste for a minute 30. You can get an obsidian shovel here that only has 3 control, but it has 16 haste, only 10 luck, only 5 strength, and then 50 boss damage. So this isn't even a good shovel. It's literally like worse than the frigid shovel we already have. And this is where you can get a blue moon horn for 200,000. You can also get an augmented totem, 50% modifier chance for everyone in the circle's range. You can stack these up with other types of totems like XP totems, luck totems, and you can just get more magnet crates while you're here, and a solstice bell. So I'm actually going to get one of these while I'm here. This is a even higher tier bell charm. I don't think I had enough money last time I was here, so I'm going to get one this time. Oh, and I'm digging. But yeah, once you're here in the second area, if you don't see any bosses spawning in, just get some friends to help you do some bosses, and you're going to want to take down a bunch of basilisks. Not just for the combat guild quest to get more boss damage permanently, but also for this quest. You have to defeat 10 bosses and do 150,000 damage to bosses anyways, so you might as well defeat a bunch of basilisks. So the basilisk can drop 2 different items. It can drop the basilisk fang or the actual basilisk. So as you can see, I have 3 basilisks, and you need 3 basilisks to get the solstice shovel, which is also part of this quest to get the magma boots to go in the mountain and get the best shovel in the game. So there's actually quite a bit to it. Let me hit an emergency flare, go all the way back to the spawn in World 1, because now I have to show you how to get the solstice shovel, which is one of the craziest shovels in the game, and you need it to get the craziest shovel in the game. So yeah, also you have to get to level 50, dig 30 shiny items, 1,000 regular items. This is a hard quest. So yeah, just go over to the left, right over here, and let's go into the cave. Ooh, actually, here's the traveling merchant. I need to check this. And you guys need to be frequently checking the traveling merchant as well, especially once you... Yes. Thank you. All right, finally, dude. I don't know how I've been getting so unlucky. We finally got the prismatic shovel. And if you pair this with the prismatic domino crown, this is actually like the craziest shovel in the game, but you can't get the prismatic domino crown until you've completed the entire journal. Obviously not including secrets, but yeah, every single exotic and mythic from every area, plus obviously all the lower tier items. But this will give you a ton of endurance, strength, and luck, and 100 chance for chromatic, which makes stuff worth way more. So yeah, that's a ton of endurance, a ton of strength and luck. 31%, 25% is how high you can reroll it to, with the charm chisel obviously. But then it also gives the prismatic shovel +2 control, +3 haste, +3 strength, and +5 luck on top of all the other stuff when it's paired together with the prismatic domino crown. So the prismatic domino crown's literally like the best charm in the game, and it kind of turns the prismatic shovel into the best shovel in the game. So if I had all of my index completed, I would have the best shovel in the game, but right now this is like the second best. Okay, so let me show you how to get the Solstice shovel, which is the third best one, pretty much, sort of, but you need it to get the best one, and the magma boots, and like go in the volcano. It's really important. So you go down in the cave, just like we did earlier, all the way down to the elevator, and let's buy ourselves a ticket. And now we gotta wait a second again. Okay, now that we're down here, I guess if you haven't already, buy these. And if you don't have the ability to spawn your car in, I would make sure that you're driving your car into the elevator so that you have it down here. Okay, one thing that I actually forgot that I'm adding in later into this video, if you just take this path and you go straight, there's one more secret area that you can get to. So you just keep going straight. You just keep going straight. You take that left curve and then you take this right pinch because the one on the right's a lot more straight. And then you just go down here into this little area. And this is a secret that I've literally seen nobody talking about at all. So this is the monk's workshop, and in here you can donate golden items and it'll give you a temporary +2 luck boost for an hour. As you can see, this is the screenshot of what it does. I don't have any gold items right now, so my friend just sent me a screenshot. Okay, he just sent me another screenshot. It doesn't stack, it just resets your timer back up to an hour, so you can't just donate like 100 gold items and have 100 hours of boost. It's only 1 hour at a time, but I just thought that I would mention this because I haven't seen anybody talking about this extra shrine boost. And then if you want to get out of here, just back up, and then you're going to take this turn over here to the left, and then go back to the right, and then you just keep going straight. There's the blue mushroom area, and then you just keep going straight, and you're back over here to the elevator. Okay, back to the part of the video that I was talking about before. Just had to add this in. But yeah, just follow the path straight. There's going to be a left turn here. Ignore it, go straight. Keep going straight until you see these leaves. Now, once you see these leaves, go right, and then there's going to be another fork in the road, go left. And it should be this, like, condensed area down here where the ceiling looks like it's getting kind of low. Just follow this all the way down, and now the ceiling is pretty low. Once you're down here, go left into this tight area, and you should see boxes over on the right. Pass up these boxes and take another right, and then you just keep going a little bit, and then right here to the right, this is where you get the Solstice shovel. Now, I'm not level 50 yet, so I'm actually not going to be able to do this. And I don't know if my basilisks are going to despawn out of the shrine or not. But yeah, you have to put 3 basilisks on the pedestal, and then you have the ability to buy the Solstice shovel right here off the wall for 190,000. This shovel has crazy strength, but super low control. Like, it's really hard to hit the tiny little bar, but it does a ton of damage. You can 2 or 3 shot almost everything you're digging up. During a blue moon, you can 1 or 2 shot everything, especially with some good strength charms. But yeah, you put the 3 basilisks, and it has to be basilisks, not basilisk fangs. So you usually have to defeat like 8, 9, and 10 basilisks to get 3 basilisks. These only drop like 30% of the time or something, but you have to defeat 10 bosses anyways, so just defeat like 10 basilisks, get the items you need, and then once you're level 50 and you complete all this other stuff, you can get the Solstice shovel. Okay, so sorry everybody, but I lied. The prismatic shovel's actually not the second best shovel in the game. This is the Glinted Shovel for 345k. As you can see, it has the same control, a little less strength, but more haste, more luck, and more boss damage. And it has a 20% chance to make items golden, and it restores endurance over time, which is your little health bar while you're digging. So if you accidentally misclick, your health bar will just go right back up every couple seconds. So this is actually like the second best one in the game. I don't know if you really need it or not, or if you should just skip straight to the next one, which is obviously the Starfire Shovel, the best one in the game, $600,000. It has the same control, 2 more strength, the same haste, 10 more luck, and it has a 35% chance to grant the item's celestial mutation. So technically this is the best shovel in the game right now. You can purchase the shovel if it spawns on top of a crashed meteorite during the meteor shower event, but like I said, I'm pretty sure you can still only buy it after you get the magma boots and you defeat the final boss in the game. I don't even know exactly why that is. I'm still not to that point in the game yet. That's why I've been trying to do as much research as possible. But yeah, like I put up on the screen in the beginning of the video, if there's anything at all that I'm missing out that's important, please comment down below and I will pin and heart all of the comments that give the best advice. I tried to include literally every single possible useful thing from beginning to end game, but I feel like there's still a thing or two I'm leaving out. And there's so many like different YouTube videos that I've watched where certain things are left out, so I'm trying to piece all the pieces together, I guess, in one big ultimate guide, but I still feel like I'm leaving some stuff out. So like I said, please comment anything down below that I might have left out that is useful information. Even on the wiki, there's stuff missing. So I feel like we all have to discover a lot of these things together. So hopefully this is one of the best guides out there. I really tried to piece together a lot of other people's guides and all the knowledge I have from playing and from the wiki. I tried to piece it all together to one ultimate guide. So hopefully I was able to help a lot of you guys out. And please comment any other good tips and tricks or things that I left out down below so that this really is the ultimate guide and people can get tons of information from this video if there's anything that I left out. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I hope I was able to help you guys out. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, comment some ideas for more future videos down below, and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you all in the next one very soon. Peace out, everybody.